Peace Pilgrim walked the Appalachian Trail in 1952. From May to October is the way she describes it in the book. And I'm really impressed by the fact that she finished in October, and January 1st, within a couple of months, she began the pilgrimage. I've always felt that it was on the Appalachian Trail that the vision for the pilgrimage came to her. I don't have any confirmation of that, but she talks about, she relates sitting on a hilltop in New England when this vision of the pilgrimage came to her, and that coincides very well with the idea that it happened while she was walking through maybe Vermont or New Hampshire on the Appalachian Trail. What most people don't know about Peace Pilgrim's Appalachian Trail experience is that she did not do it alone. She did walk with a gentleman whose name was Dick Lamb, and actually one of the reasons there was so much confusion about her place in the history of the Appalachian Trail is because they would introduce themselves as Dick Lamb and Mildred. And most people made the assumption that they were married, which they were not. But in 1952, the idea of a single woman and a single man spending, 4 months together in the woods would probably conjure up a lot of lifted eyebrows and other things like that. It wouldn't have been acceptable. So I can understand their allowing people to make an assumption about their relationship. Dick had actually been on the Appalachian Trail before. He'd been on the Appalachian Trail in probably 1947 or 1946. Earl mentions him in his book Walking with Spring, which was one of the first books about the Appalachian Trail. And I also discovered through Earl and through Earl's writing that Peace Pilgrim had written him a number of postcards. Those postcards, I believe, right now are at the Smithsonian in Earl's collected papers. I don't know if they've been cataloged yet, and one of my deepest desires is to get my hands on copies of those postcards so I can read them and learn a little bit more about her experience. Now, my own experience on the Appalachian Trail, I actually got to walk the Appalachian Trail 50 years after to the year after Peace Pilgrim did. And I actually wanted to start on the same day. I knew from a postcard that Dick Lamb had written to the Appalachian Trail Conference that they had started on April 26th. Peace Pilgrim always talked about May to October, but the actual date that they started was April 26th of 1952. So I had arranged my life to be on top of Springer Mountain on April 26th of 2002, 50 years to the day after they started. But my life had a little complication in that I got sick about a week before I was supposed to go and start my trip, and I had to postpone it for about a week. So I actually started on May 1st of 2002, and that very much corresponded with Peace Pilgrim's May to October. The other thing that Peace Pilgrim and Dick Lamb did was they didn't do a through hike, in the sense that they didn't walk directly from actually, they started on Mount Oglethorpe, which was the start of the Appalachian Trail in 1952. They didn't walk from Georgia to Maine directly. They walked from Georgia to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And then in reading the journals of Peace Pilgrim's brother-in-law, I discovered that she actually came home for a few days, went on a picnic with the family, and then she and Dick got back together again and went to Mount Katahdin and started walking back to Harrisburg, where she finished in October. So my walk literally was the walk that she talked about, May to October, although she actually started on the 26th of April. For me, and I'm sure for Peace Pilgrim, always talked about getting her inspiration from nature. And for me, the Appalachian Trail was really an incredible experience.